So it is inside, it can look like this. If you open the laptop. Okay. It's a laptop motherboard. Desktop motherboard. Regular desktop motherboards. Different places like this. Okay. Desktop motherboard. So if you go for the cost motherboard, so different features, additional features like a built-in Bluetooth, built-in Wi-Fi kind of things, SSD, M.2 type of slots. Okay, so that type of motherboards we are also getting. Okay, so these are the motherboard. What is the motherboard? On motherboard, we can able to, we have a CPU slot. If you see that yellow one, that is a CPU slot. It's a older motherboard. If you go to the newer motherboard, this is a CPU slot. You can see it's better visual. It is a CPU slot where we put our CPU. This orange one, the two bars side by side, this what we can say RAM slots. This single orange bar, that is a graphic card purpose, AGP slot. Okay. These are PCI X slot, express slot. In certain motherboards, it's the white bars like this. So you see this white bar, that is PCI. Okay, PCI. Okay. On motherboard, of course, you have a BIOS chip, means your ROM chip is there. ROM BIOS battery, north bridge, south bridge, hard disk connectors, okay, power connectors, SMPS fan connectors, back panel connectors, front panel connectors also there. So somewhere you can able to see front panel connectors. This side front panel connectors will be here. Like for power buttons, LEDs, reset buttons, like a hard disk LED, power LED, reset buttons, USB front panel USB connectors also there on your motherboard. Okay. See, different slots are there on your motherboard. So like a CPU slots or sockets, RAM slots, expansion slots, like a PCI, PCIX kind of stuff. Okay. So different chipsets like a north bridge, south bridge, VGA chipset is there, audio chipset is there. Okay, NIC network related chipsets also there on the mother. Power supply distributors also there. Power supply connected from SMPS, CMOS battery flats, IDE SATA type of connector to connect your hard disk. Okay. So these are the different. So these are RAM slots. This is a power supply from SMPS to your motherboard. This is how it is RAMs are sitting. So back panel. So different back panels. It's a older back panel type. So if you see here, it is PS/2 connector. Usually we use this for a mouse and keyboard connector. This is for a mouse and this is for a keyboard. VGA for a display like a monitor connector. VGA projector connectors we can connect. Monitor, projector, both we can connect. This is a parallel port. Nowadays, this parallel port and serial ports are removed from the most of the desktops. This parallel port is olden days we connect printers, printer purpose. This is for external modem purpose. So earlier we want to connect internet. That time we do not have these Wi-Fi routers. So we use external routers. We connect with the telephone cable from external router to our system. Okay, with the COM port. Okay, USB ports you know already, and this is a audio jack kind of stuff. Audio speakers, mics you can able to connect. If you see these two, this is Ethernet LAN connector, wire LAN connector. So PS/2 connectors. So you can see the different connectors are there here. Okay. So this is personal system version 2 like BS/2. So one for a mouse, another for a keyboard. Okay, mostly by symbolic representation also there. You can easily understand it. Yeah, you know the universal serial bus, that is our USB. You can connect keyboard, mouse, pen drives, modems, webcams, hard disk, external hard disk, we can able to connect it. This is the VGA board. You can see there is a 55515 pin. It's look like this. And this is for a monitors, projector kind of stuff. Even for LCD TVs also you can connect if this connector is there. This is serial port, also called as RS-232 to connect from, it's like a COM port. Already I told you for external modems. Also, you want to connect any router switches, Cisco router switches for configuration. Okay, that is also they used. Now, most of the serial port, parallel port, all these things replaced with USBs only. Okay, this is a LAN port RJ11, RJ45, RJ45 LAN port to connect your system in the LAN. This is HDMI port. HDMI port. What is the use of this HDMI port? To connect to the monitors, projectors, LED TVs like that. Guys, this VGA only video transmission. Only video transmission. But HDMI, high definition, both video and audio, both it will can able to transmit. That's the difference. This is LED buttons, LED indicators on your motherboard, so which indicates issue like if you are not installed RAM properly, the DRAM LED will blink. Okay, bootable disk is missing, so this boot LED will be blink. CPU is not installed properly, then it is CPU LED is blink. So it is this LED status indicate where is an issue at a boot. Okay. So this is a few smaller details about your motherboard. Okay, guys. Understand what is about a motherboard? Okay. No one is speaking.
Yes, we got it.
Well, SMPS, switch mode power supply. Switch mode power supply. Your laptop charger is SMPS. Build that's middle one is there. That is SMPS inside. But only one single DC voltage we are getting. As our main supply voltage is AC voltage, 220 volts, 220 volts AC, 50 hertz frequency. In India, we use 220 to 230 volts AC, 50 hertz frequency. That is our main socket voltage. Okay, but computer need a DC. So we have to convert AC voltage to DC voltage. So what we are using? SMPS. SMPS convert your main AC voltage to the different DC voltages. In our desktop model, we use this type of SMPSs. Okay, so it give different type of voltage. For laptops, we have a charger that is convert your AC to DC, like a plus 19 volts DC voltage. It will convert. You can check in on that charger also. Even your mobile phone charger, it is a SMPS charger. So main power supply is AC, it convert to DC. And so that DC, we are going to charge our battery. The battery is also DC power supply. Okay. So why it is a childish one? So I am repeating, even still a lot of people believe the reverse way. Direct current, DC means direct current, AC means alternate current. Okay. So again, they will disturb, right? Your direct current means the from home it is direct. It is alternate means it is something different. Analog digital signal like that. So it's not like that, guys. Okay. So this SMPS for a desktop we used earlier, that is ATX 20 pin connector. 80 is there, 6 plus 6 pin connector. Then ATX 20 pin connector is there. Nowadays we are using 24 pin to the motherboard connector, which is look like this one. This is 24 pin, which is going to SMPS to motherboard. Another one is additional pins also there. Depends upon your motherboard. So when you choose SMPS, check it that how many CP additional is getting. Like if you see this is 8 pin, 4 plus 4, 8 pin CPU connector, separate connector power supply to the motherboard only for CPU purpose. This is whole motherboard purpose. This is SATA hard disk and SATA CD-RAM or DVD writer purpose. So floppy disk nowadays we are not. This is PCI related one. Okay. So like that. This Molex connectors, the 4 pin one, we are not using right now. Maybe for some devices, maybe quite. So older PATA hard disk, we are using that one, but now we are not using. Okay. Different DC voltages we are getting. Plus 12 volts, minus 12 volts, plus 5 volts, plus 3.3 volts and ground we are getting from us. Okay. So how to choose this SMPS? You want to build your own desktop machine. So first of all, which processor? The cost of processor and use of that processor is important, right? So for example, my personal work is mostly on the virtual machines. I want to run multiple virtual machines. So I will take multi-core processors. 4-core 8-thread processor, 8-core 16-thread processor, like that. Multi-core processor I will take. Not i7 or i9, but i5, i3 is also okay if it is multi-core type. Better cache. Okay. Next one is RAM. I will concentrate on RAM. So CPU supported RAM. So 16 GB RAM is for me, it is good because I can run multiple virtual machines or big virtual machines for certain purpose. Second. What is the third one? Motherboard, of course. So you choose the suitable motherboard, which is the cost is more flexible based on what you use. Okay, on motherboard, based on the motherboard connectors, like a power connectors and all, you have to choose SMPS. Of course, guys, what are the components you are using? CPU, RAM, motherboard, hard disk, CD-RAM, SSDs, additional connectors. The totally every device consumes some power supply. Every device consumes power supply. So you have to calculate based on their device when you purchase it, what is their wattage consumption. You have to add all these things. Then, so for example, if you add all the individual components, wattage rating, then you got, for example, 300. Then choose 350 or 400 or 450. Don't only 300. Don't take exact same to same. Like you got 300 here, so don't take 300 watts. Little more than requirement. Why? Because sometimes you may in a future you add one more device. You may add a pen drive or maybe external hard. This is consuming little additional power. So your system will restart again and again. Okay, that's the problem with this things. So this is about your SMPS, guys. AC to DC power supply connector. So we have to discuss about a storage. Okay. And then, of course, I already told these points. One is like a, for laptop, the RAM is sodium type of packages. For desktop, it is DIMM related package. We want to change the RAM in case of laptop. So you have to flip the laptop in bottom. So there is protection shield is the case. You have to remove the case. Okay. Then check RAM slots. Check the previous RAM details also. Check with your CPU RAM support, your motherboard support. Then you want to replace it. You have to remove all the power supply, main power supply, battery connector you have to remove. Then you can remove the RAM and reinsert a new RAM and closer the closer. Okay. Then connect the power supply, power on the system. Okay. So in case how to replace the RAM. You can also try in a YouTube videos, lot of YouTube videos are there, but tell them in a step by step, if in case in interview they ask. Yeah, this is a question, also a frequent question asked to the previous batches. So that's why I'm repeating this. But meanwhile, I told entire story. Okay, this is an important one. What is the difference between RAM and hard disk? Actually, it is very silly question. Okay, but think it is sometimes even a very small question. It's difficult to answer also. That's why I will always concentrate on mainly important is the smaller questions, not big questions like how you install a Windows server, what is a data center, how you connect a fiber optical cable connector, explain a fiber optical switch. You understand normal switch first, then fiber optical switch, don't worry. Okay, so explain EIGRP. It's not required because it's first important is very basic, well-known kind of stuff only, very important. So people will twist the questions in that places on. That's why you have to understand the question and give answer as you know it. Okay, you know already, so just tell like that. So RAM and ROM. So what is RAM and ROM? I already told, but RAM and hard disk. RAM and ROM are primary memory. So RAM is a primary memory, physical memory, main memory. RAM is a volatile memory. When system is turned off, whatever the data in the RAM will be gone automatically. RAM is temporary memory. RAM store data temporarily. If you don't insert a RAM or maybe RAM is not working, the first step itself it is failed. The first step in the boot processing itself, it is failed. Okay. So what is the purpose of hard disk? This is secondary memory. Primary memory, secondary memory. Primary memory is RAM and ROM. Secondary memory is hard disk, CD-ROM, floppy disk, all these things, SSDs. Okay, these are all secondary memories. Hard disk is secondary memory, non-volatile memory. Even a system is turned off, hard disk remains in the hard disk. The data remains in the hard disk. Hard disk is a mass storage device. So RAM, you will get a 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB. You take a hard disk. The hard disk is 500 GB, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte of hard disk available, right? At least 2 terabyte, 4 terabyte of hard disk also can available in market now. Okay. So mass storage device. Main purpose of hard disk is to store your operating system, applications, and data. So RAM store data for computing purpose means it load instructions and data, give it to your processor, processor done the processing thing and give it to RAM, RAM give it to the IO devices. But a hard disk is not like that. A hard disk have an operating system, that operating system load to the RAM for functioning purpose. Okay. It's not directly processor don't access data from hard disk. So don't go to that much big story. Even if you don't connect your hard disk, the post will be continued. Only thing is, if you have a voice in the hard disk, that cannot be loaded. Okay. So like that. So simply RAM is a primary memory, hard disk is secondary memory. RAM is a volatile memory, hard disk is non-volatile memory. If you turn off your system, Whatever the data in the RAM will be gone, but in the hard disk it still remains. Okay, RAM is store data temporarily. Hard disk is store data permanently, means we can enable variable times. Hard disk is a must storage device to store your operating system, application, and data. RAM is a floating data, means load, execute, load, like that. Load, execute, load, kind of stuff. Okay, you guys understand RAM and hard disk difference?
Yes, sir.
These points, like a notepad file, I will forward anyway. Okay, so you can also go through a few. Why it is so many messages? Okay. So what we will do? So there is some questions I added. So some troubleshooting related. Just I'm going to add those things because the next one I go, so those things cannot come back. These are the troubleshooting questions. Okay. These are the troubleshooting related questions. If CPU is getting overheated, system restart itself to prevent CPU from burning. Okay, so the question is, system restart itself automatically. Automatically is system is restarting itself. Why it is? System is CPU is getting overheated. To prevent from damage or a burn of CPU, system is restarting itself. So why? Because of why? Because of CPU has shielding on it. So you go to this CPU. I will show you the CPU kind of stuff. It is, yeah, like this. There is a heat sink on the CPU. There is a heat sink on the CPU. So first question answer it is, so there is a heat sink on the CPU. What is this heat sink purpose? It absorbs the heat from your processor, okay, and it is having things like there is a gaps on the heat sink. So what it will do, the air will be flow through its gaps. So then the heat sink will get cold. It maintain the temperature of a CPU. This is for a desktop. This is a laptop heat sink. Under this plate, processor will be there. So processor is getting heated. The plate will absorb. It passes through this copper rod and like this. This fan will blow out this heat outside. Okay. So this is a heat sink paste applied on the processor. On the heat sink paste, there is a heat sink. Okay. So sometimes it will get dust. Sometimes it is not sitting properly. Sometimes the fan is not working properly. So what happened? Heat is not escaping. So processor is getting overheated. So processor is getting overheated. If processor is getting overheated, what happened? System restart itself again and again. So that is the first one point. Okay. System is restarts itself automatically again and again. So why it is? Because of CPU is getting overheated. The second one is you are getting a host failure. It is like a blank screen or a black screen error you are getting. You power on your system On the screen, nothing is come there. Nothing is come. There is a possibility of RAM is failure. Why RAM is failure? So then we'll see that. This is the answer. Second one. Okay. So this is for second one. So I put a second. This is for first. Just matter for matter. Convenience matter is I'm not writing as a question and answer type. So it's like a convincing a matter to you. Okay. This is a second question. What is it? You power on your system, nothing on the screen. It's like a blank screen. You may hear the continuous beep sound. No keyboard LED kind of stuff. Possibilities, maybe RAM loose connection, RAM failure, RAM dust on the RAM, and RAM slots. Okay. If you do not insert a RAM properly, on the RAM you have a dust or RAM slots having a dust, so you cannot able to. Okay. So if it is there, there is possibility of post failure. Okay. So what you will do? Open the cabinet, remove the power connections, open the cabinet, remove the RAM, clean the RAM with a edges with a eraser, clean the dust on RAM and RAM slots. Okay, reconnect it, verify. Connect the RAM and start PC and verify. Still not working, cross verify with the other PCs. This is how RAM will work, guys. So meaning is, see it is, this is the IO controller. You have input devices, output devices, storage devices. All are controlled by IO controller chip. Okay, it is actually your north-south bridge on. Okay, what is this? It will do, it make a control of all these devices. So whether you are giving a input from the keyboard or maybe from an application or maybe are getting something on the screen, okay, your storage related kind of stuff. So whatsoever it is, you are handling here. And we take whatever the instruction user is given, that will go for a RAM. RAM to cache, CPU cache, and go to the CPU. CPU process the instruction and data and give it to the cache it to the RAM. From processor to the RAM, there is a north bridge. This north bridge will control the communication between this CPU and RAM. And there is a south bridge which control the communication between your RAM and other peripherals, means input, output, storage devices. Okay. So this is a north bridge between CPU and RAM. This is south bridge between RAM and other peripherals. This is second question. What is the second question? Nothing on the screen. It is a post is failure. Loose connection. If RAM is failed or loose connected, dust on the RAM. So you may not getting a booting, like you will get a blank screen error. Okay. This third one is if BIOS battery is low or no power, reset BIOS settings to the factory default and shows CMOS checksum error bad. So there, here it is already I covered that one. That is the third one is this one. CMOS checksum error bad. Okay. What is a CMOS battery? It give a continuous power supply to our BIOS chip to keep date and time running. To keep the settings you change is as same as like that only. Okay. So not to let change back to the factory default. In case of the battery is removed and reinserted, and you will get a CMOS checksum bad, and you have to change it all the settings yourself, mainly date and time. In case you are getting the CMOS checksum error or bad every time, it means your battery is no power or low power. You have to replace the battery. So what is the fourth one? If SMPS is not providing required power supply to the system may restart again and again. So what is that meaning is you have to choose your SMPS and based on system power consumption. If you give lesser power supply than required, so it may restart again and again. So system restarts itself again and again, two reasons. One is CPU is getting overheated. Next one is SMPS is giving lesser power than required power supply. Okay, two reasons are there. So why I'm writing a question and this separate way, guys. And also I didn't write anything like a question and answer type. I have that question and answer kind of stuff also there. I didn't have, so maybe I have. I didn't remember. Okay. Because understanding is first important, guys. Read it, discuss yourself, or discuss with your friends. Or if you still don't understand, you can ask me again. No problem. Okay. But so try something like that. Still, a lot of people, guys, even I checked with one of your previous batches. So still people are confusing between system, laptop, computer. Okay. System, generally we use a system means it's a computer. Computer means it can be a PC or a laptop. Both your desktop, laptop having a processor, RAM, ROM, motherboard. Okay. But both are look like different. Both are separate. Like a monitor is separate and the cabinet is separate. Here it is CPU does not mean the cabinet. CPU means which is a nothing but a chip which is inside your computer. Whole computer. Okay. So that's the important. Actually, I want to tell storage related kind of stuff. Okay. Um, I think people are not receiving much. So just I'm giving a notes about a storage, and tomorrow first we'll discuss about a storage. Mainly important already I told what is the difference between bah. So what is the difference between hard disk and SSD is a most important point. So what you will do, so tomorrow we will discuss different storage devices. Then we will discuss the different storage devices and their purposes type means like a way of storing. And also we'll discuss how hard disk is look like, what is SATA PATA is look like. Okay. So how it is there is what is desktop hard disk, laptop hard disk, what is meant by external hard disk, then what is SSDs. Okay. So general points only, but still people are facing something like they don't know kind of stuff. Even they know it. Again, tomorrow it will change. Okay, no problem. We'll see the things tomorrow. Anything? Any questions, guys?
No.
Actually, I uploaded all your videos. I'm going to stop recording.